Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, IDEX, the decentralized exchange responsible for over 40% of all DEX transactions, claims to have created an infinite scaling solution for Ethereum. In an email sent to Cointelegraph, IDEX claims that its system, dubbed Optimized Optimistic Rollups, or O2Rs, reaches block finality in 10 minutes. The company also says that this is about 1,000 times faster than the Optimistic Rollups, or ORs, developed by Ethereum scalability development organization Plasma Group, which achieves block finality in 2 weeks. So the difference between 10 minutes and 2 weeks is quite dramatic. Rollup solutions scale by moving computation off-chain and pushing results to the network later. Both O2Rs and ORs ensure data legitimacy by having validators analyze the data published on-chain. This technology offers a spectrum of use cases. The difference between the two proposals is that O2Rs only publish the data off-chain. Using a validator triggers a data check availability check. Thanks to the change, the new system reportedly has limitless scaling potential. It can handle much more complex applications. This is wonderful. However, this is not the first time that we've heard of something like this. There have been many other companies before who have come forward, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. Many companies have come forward before claiming that they have created something that will allow Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Nextcoin to be able to scale to an infinite amount, or they have the solution, or they have what could solve the problem. These things are never usually spoken about by the coin's creators, i.e., if this company comes forward saying that they have the solution to be able to make things faster, the creator of the coins, the people on Twitter, never usually seem to react to this. We do have other solutions as well for Bitcoin. There are apparently multiple solutions that people have come up with as an off-chain, second layer, other layered solution to make Bitcoin quicker, but none of them ever really seem to stick. And I would assume it's two things. They either don't work, or the companies working on the actual coins themselves maybe want to do their own projects. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's more of a matter of if it works, if it's going to be adopted, because something needs to happen, even though we are relatively close to the upgrades for Ethereum. If this gets initiated or activated within a year, or someone looks through it and figures out that it's actually good, then yay, we have a quicker Ethereum. Not, then it's back to the drawing board, but it's nice to see at least that people are actively working on trying to make these things a lot quicker. There's never an end to the amount of companies who are trying to make new solutions to make our cryptocurrency dreams a reality. Next up, Bakkt is in the news. Institutional Bitcoin trading platform known as Bakkt has announced it has launched its custody feature for its entire client base following regulatory approval. In a blog post on the 11th of November, Bakkt said it had received the go-ahead from the New York Department of Financial Services, or the NYDFS, to offer custody services to any institution. Previously, the option was only available for those trading its Bitcoin futures. Commenting on the release, Bakkt described the custody tool as a critical link in the institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Safely storing digital assets demands a comprehensive approach to custody. Institutions and sophisticated investors need more than cutting-edge technology. They require proven infrastructure, robust operational controls, and independent oversight, the blog has said. This was part of Bakkt's initial 2018 conversation that we had about it. Bakkt was meant to be a Bitcoin futures trading platform, a cryptocurrency trading platform, and also the other part was a custody solution, pretty much meaning that they would hold the cryptocurrencies for you. This news is relatively new. I wonder if it will have any impact on the price. The idea has been from many prominent people within the cryptocurrency space, usually very rich people who were already rich, are richer because of crypto and have been into crypto for quite a long amount of time, and they usually ended up buying Bitcoin anywhere between $1 to $10, is that the cryptocurrency market will do better when we have more custody solutions everywhere. And the idea being that the New York Stock Exchange is now given the green light to be able to be a Bitcoin custodian. We'll see exactly where it ends up going. We know that Fidelity is also already up and running. I think they're also available for everyone. Maybe it's just still like the whole institutional, very rich people thing. It's always really odd that, I don't know. Never mind. I was going to say the whole only institutional thing, but this is kind of how everything runs. And not that it's right, but everything always runs on rich people first, and then everyone else can stand at the back of the line, and then they end up getting the, not the scraps, but they get in later on. The same exact thing happened for Coinbase as well. I don't know if you remember for 2018 when Coinbase was releasing all of these things. They released about 5 different products, and I think 4 of them disappeared because they were only for institutional clients, and they didn't allow any normal people to get inside of them. And then when they finally did allow normal people to finally get into these products, nobody wanted them because they only had been advertised for rich people for the past 6 months. Anyway, let's see exactly how this ends up working out for them. It's cool? Question mark. It was about time, but with regulators, everything takes even more time than it normally should. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, Malaysia is planning to impose a $6,000 limit on cash transactions by 2020. According to a deputy governor at the country's central bank, the new restrictions aim to prevent the use of cash in illicit activities, air quotes, and won't affect regulated financial institutions or other entities transacting for humanitarian aid purposes. If you've ever read the news, and I mean ever, it's usually, the sad part is that it's always, I won't use the word always, 99% of the time, it's usually the regulated financial institutions who are doing the money laundering. And then the really weird part is that even when they're found out for money laundering, they get fined like $20 million for having laundered like $15 billion. It's always a little weird. We're seeing a trend now where countries are starting to impose cash limits. One of the first ones that, at least off the top of my head, that I can remember was India a couple of years ago when they stopped the creation of their larger money paper bills. And they said it was to stop people from performing illegal activities because the country believed that they were being, they were missing out on taxes because people were transacting in these larger bills and therefore they had no need to pay taxes. That was the mindset of the government. What we're seeing is a, I was going to say a slow, but it's a quick pace walking down the street movement where we're seeing governments starting to impose cash limits or how much money people can use, or it's like a precursor to the beginning of them starting to roll out digital currencies, because with digital currencies, there's so much more control. And the dystopian future that we're going to have in about the next 10 years is when we have tons of central bank digital currencies, is that should they deem something to be illegal, they'll simply hit a button and everyone will only be able to spend $100 equivalent that day. This has happened before with other countries. They've simply shut down banks, they've shut down systems, they've shut down websites, or they've taken money from people's accounts. So how great it's going to be for a lot of these countries when things are looking shaky in the economy and they get a text that says you can only use $500 this month, and that's going to be like, woo, can't wait for that to happen. The point being, getting back to the center, is that it's usually, more than likely, always. What other bank was just found to be like laundering gold? This happened like 3 days ago. Like which of your friends listening to this right now, which of your friends has laundered gold? Which of your friends has put tons of gold bars onto a ship and sent it to another country? No one? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was just me. Abdul Rashid, the deputy governor in question who works for the Bank Negara Malaysia, claimed that the measures will apply to all transactions involving physical cash, including payments for goods and services. This was reported by local English newspaper The Star. The limit of $6,000 will also apply to donations and transfers between entities like people and businesses. Sure, why not? It's fairly obvious what they're trying to do. Will they be successful? Who knows? This is part of the power struggle of countries and banks and governments not wanting to have change. So the way that they keep order is by restricting access to things that people need and want and can use. There was another country who also did something like this recently. It wasn't Malaysia. This was months ago. I think they were stopping people from buying things over, if it costs over $10,000, you had to ask the bank. And people were like, yeah, if I buy a car, what do I have to do? You have to go to the bank, say, hey, I'm going to buy a car on this date at this time. Can I please have access to my cash? And then the bank has to approve you using your money. Interesting times indeed. On top of this as well, for those of you who don't know and are not looking at the screen, it says Argentina just reinstated foreign currency restrictions. Here's what you need to know. Austerity is never popular with voters. This is happening all over the world. In not rapid succession, there are many countries who are not doing as bad as others. We saw there were also cash restrictions from Venezuela in 2017 and 18 when they were only, air quotes, around 300, 400% under inflation. And then they ended up hitting, I think around the time when they ended up hitting 1 million% hyperinflation, I think they actually let go of the controls because they realized things aren't going too well. So a lot of the restrictions, we've also seen this in a number of African countries as well. The foreign currency restrictions come down to that you can't swap out of the local currency into the US dollar. And most people in these countries, especially if it's been allowed, if it's like not even like an underground thing, if people can simply just use US dollars as a means of payment, transfer services, whatever, exchange, they tend to do so as the dollar is relatively stable comparatively to many other currencies around the world. But governments are like, no, you have to use our own currencies, and it's causing like a bit of a strain, I guess you could say, because like we saw once again in Venezuela and many other countries, people were talking about that they got their paychecks, they ran to get it cashed, and then with the cash in a bag in their arm, because they had so much of it, by the time that they got to the supermarket, it was worth half of what it was after they had gotten paid. So yeah, let's move on. Next up, where is it? There we go. The Central Bank of Tunisia has announced it is testing the rollout of its national currency onto a blockchain. The digitization of the dinar makes Tunisia the first country in the world to announce the transfer of part of its money supply to electronic form, according to a report released on Thursday by the Russian news agency TASS. I guess maybe I read that incorrectly, but I guess it is true. Apparently, they're already in the process of doing it. I thought it was saying that they were the first to announce that they would be doing something like that, because we know that Russia's going to do it, China's going to do it, this place is going to do it, and that place is going to do it. I guess maybe they've already begun the rollout. Citizens will also reportedly be able to convert physical cash for the digital clone, which will be 100% backed by the national currency, logically. Unlike cryptocurrencies, which run on decentralized and public blockchains, the state-owned e-dinar, also known as a central bank digital currency, will be privately owned by the Tunisian government and operated by Russian fintech Universa Blockchain, an enterprise-grade blockchain solutions platform provided end-to-end digitization services and programmable money for governments. Backed by the national currency, the central bank digital currency is expected to be cheaper to issue, more transparent and traceable, and more effective at rooting out illegal activities and tax evasion. This is always what they say. I think I would be more inclined to believe them if it wasn't the entire same sentence over and over. It's always illegal activities, and it's always really interesting because different countries declare different things to be illegal. So it's also a situation where we've seen before, if a government doesn't like something, they also deem it to be illegal, and then in a world where everything is digital, and they can already track you with your phone. They know exactly where you're going all the time. Anyway, cool. No, not really, not at all. The other part was, where was it? It says it's somewhere around here. I can't remember exactly without having to read the entire thing. That company, Universal Blockchain, apparently will be getting like they'll reap the rewards of the transactions passing through the network. So I'm sure they're pretty happy about that. Here's the actual article right here from TASS. I don't read Russian. If you do, here's the article right here. We now have, I'm surprised, this is probably country number 7 or 8 who has announced or is now officially rolling out their central bank digital currency. I think if these are successful or work out pretty well, or if there are no hiccups and governments figure out that they are a great way to control the masses, by the end of next year, we should probably have at least 25. I was going to say 20, more like 25. Let's say around 30 different countries around the world who are going to have issued or are starting to issue their own digital currency as well. And by the time we hit around the year 2025, it should just be simply normal that everyone is completely tracked by transactions that are... Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Let's move on. Next up, BitHum Global has launched a native token for BitHum Chain. The exchange's custom blockchain, launched under the BT ticker. BitHum Coin will work as a medium of exchange for the ecosystem, the company told CoinDesk in a statement on Tuesday. The BitHum chain itself is expected to launch sometime in the first quarter of 2020. From a mechanic side, the exchange will mint a hard cap of 300 million BitHum coins. Half of the exchange's revenue will be used to burn 50% of the BT's token supply over time. For those of you who don't know, this is exactly what Binance does. I think Binance made 200 million or 300 million coins, and they're also quarterly burning coins the same exact way that BitHum chain plans on doing, or BitHum, excuse me, plans on doing until they have 150 million coins. And Binance, I think they're burning coins until they have exactly 100 million. This will result in a final 100 million token supply. Initial token distribution will be split between on-exchange incentives and chain development. Moreover, BitHum says the exchange will utilize the coin for handling fees, rights to use BitHum chain, and future payment mechanisms. Earlier this month, the exchange announced its exchange as a service feature. Okay, who cares? That's not really that important. This is another cryptocurrency exchange who is going to be actively creating their own coin. This is just the way that things are going. The discussion usually comes down to, do we need these coins? No. Are they going to be created? Absolutely. Why are they going to be created? Because it's believed that in the future, everything with value, air quotes, will be digitized. Do we need every single thing on the planet to be digitized for cryptocurrency exchanges to constantly make new coins so that they can get more money? No. It's a constant 50-50. It's going to happen. No, we still don't have a Coinbase coin as far as I know. I know they have like a stable coin, I think. Anyway. Sure. A lot of people are already very bullish on Binance and Binance Coin because of the burning of the token, and therefore there will only be a set limit and blah, 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 blah. And every time I think you make a transaction on Binance, you get like a fee reduction. So this is another way or method of being able to use the token, but every exchange will have their coin, if not multiple coins, within the next couple of years. It's just that BitHum has finally jumped onto the bandwagon. And to kind of finish things off, crypto analysts are trying to determine where Bitcoin is heading. After the leading cryptocurrencies dropped below 9,000 on Friday, new analysis from Bloomberg suggests that Bitcoin has not yet reached a bottom. The financial outlet says the GTI Vera Convergence Divergence Indicator, which is designed to identify market reversals and exhaustion, shows a trend reversal may be incoming. They said, if this occurs, the leading digital currency could retest the lows seen before its rampant run-up following comments by China's president in October. I told you guys yesterday, and gals, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin goes below 8,000 at this point. Even there was another, what was it? that fear and greed index apparently is showing fear in the market, which also, I mean, it's never not ridiculous. The index apparently is showing some analysts that with enough fear in the market, it could be a good time to buy into the market, not financial advice. And therefore, if people are fearful, it's a good time for rich money to get into the market. And therefore, when the price goes back up, the fear index turns to greed. And when it gets too greedy, people start to sell off. So once again, people are saying that Bitcoin has not yet reached a bottom. I'm pretty sure it has, because we've gone over this. I've said this sentence at least 38,000 times this year alone. Every analyst keeps saying that Bitcoin has to find the bottom, and then when it does, they say that it has not found the bottom, and then the price goes up. And the price starts going back down, and they go, okay, it hasn't found the bottom. It's found about 38 bottoms this year alone. Unless I'm mixing up the numbers. I think it has nothing to do with bottoms. I think it's just simply, you know what I think. Not going to even get into it. Anyway, the point being, I expect a dip further, regardless of what might actually happen. If it goes lower and you're a permabull, you know what to do. If it goes higher and you're a permabull, then we all celebrate together. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: MS Savick, AFMC staff, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Sammy Buchucha, Buucha, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich the Third, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Damian, Nicholas Werner, The One Piece One Love, Cryptopolis, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Strange Radio Central, Mechanic, Milweezy Adobo, Bankroad Network, Crypto Joe, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Triple M and J, Woody and Daisy, Brady Niels, Master Ventures in Thailand, Mohair Maroney, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, and Professor Wally from Gun, Bot, University. Thank you all very, very much for your support. At the moment, mixed basket. Once again, coins are going up. Some coins are going down. I bet you weren't expecting that. Bitcoin is currently up by 1.14%. I do not have my fingers crossed, because I assume this is just a daily gain that the traders are trying to initiate. And I expect the price to go back down so that they can sell off, take some profits, and then when the price is down where they want it to go, they're going to push the price back up after having bought some. My voice just went really high. Sorry if I hurt anyone's ears. But yeah, I assume we're going to be trending sideways for quite a bit of time. There's still the idea that I have seen on a number of websites stating that historically, we get that word a lot as well, that historically November is a good month for Bitcoin. I myself am interested to see what's going to happen in December. If we're going to have a last year of the... wrong order. We're going to have a year of the end last push for the prices to see exactly where they end up going. That one I'm actually holding my breath for. It could be quite interesting to see if we get a big jump, as everyone is anticipating a big jump at the end of the year. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have and are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.